Yo, what up, everyone? What up? What up? What up? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing today? Matt Castaneda says, hi, Franklin. What's up, Mac? How you doing? Dominic St. Clair says, hey, what's up, Dominic? How you doing? How you doing? Max says, yo, my man. Max says, oh, that's good, puppy. Apple Ricky says, Merry Christmas Eve, Frankie boy. Thank you so much, guys. Merry Christmas Eve, everyone here. Merry Christmas Eve to everyone as well right here. Max says, Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. Apple Ricky says, Apple Ricky says, I just bought a good guy doll from Spencer's. He was like about 90 bucks. Not the bad. He's cute. Oh, you got a regular good guy. Yes, I love the regular good guy dolls as well. More than the evil Chucky. Although I do gotta get an evil Chucky though. I want the Bride of Chucky. The first Bride of Chucky movie. I want that one. That one looked the best. The later Chuckies from the spin-off series looked horrible. The first Bride of Chucky was awesome. Yeah, but yeah, I love the regular good guys. As you can see, I got two of them. I got the first Spencer's one that came out, the big one, and then I'm guessing you got the newer one, the one that's smaller, right? But yeah, he's still badass. So I need to get that one too, Apple Ricky. Cosmizano says, hey, Frank, how are you doing, my hermano guapo? Hope your day is blessed and Merry Christmas Eve to you and your loved ones. Thank you so much, Cosplay. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas Eve to you too and everyone. Cosplay says, I follow you on Instagram now. Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much, Cosplay. I appreciate that. Now we could get in touch more easily, Cosplay Zano. Apariki says, you saw that I'm making a Clockwork Orange fan film. I'm doing it soon. Got to get the stuff, some of my friends, and I am keeping the characters I play a secret. Awesome. That's great, Apariki. Glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that as well, Apariki. Glad to hear that as well. Hell yeah, can't wait to see that, like I said last time. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see that. That's awesome, Apariki. That is totally awesome. That is totally awesome. Max says, hello, Spring Plush. Max says, nice to meet you. Mac Castaneda says, yo, where is Franklin go? I'm right here, man. Castellano says, estoy bien. Okay, that's awesome, Cosplay. I can't read Spanish too well, but yeah, I understand what you said, though. You're saying that you're in the gym and you're trying to keep your physique going. You know, that's good, man. That's good. Apple Ricky says, Chucky going a bit of an emo phase. Why, Apple Ricky? Why do you say that? Why is it going a bit of an emo phase? Why is it going to of a bit of an emo phase? Why? Why is Chucky going through a bit of an emo phase, Apple Ricky? Why? Why? Why, Apple Ricky? Apple Ricky says his hair is covering his eye. Oh yeah, that's usually a Chucky thing. Yeah, Chucky usually has his hair covering him like that. Yeah, that's normal though. That's normal. That's normal for the Chuckster. That's normal for the Chuckster to have that side bang thing going on. Yeah, it's always been a thing for Chucky. No, give me a second, guys. Oh, this thing broke. This thing broke on me. What the heck? There you go. But yeah. Chucky's always had, like I said, a little those little side swipe on his hair. Yeah. Apariki says, Castellano says, love the Xmas Jason Voorhees shirt. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Right here. Friday the 13th. I didn't know what to wear, so I just threw this on with a mechanic shirt. It looks great. It looks great with some dirty Converse on. I love this. I love this outfit. It looks very grunge, very 90s. Cosplayzano says, am I right? He's wearing a Christmas hat or not? Nah, Jason is not wearing a Christmas hat. He's not. It's just the 2009 mask. And then some chick screaming. And then the rest of, like, you got a cabin, I think, right there. Mrs. Voorhees' grave. Like I said, some chick screaming. The Friday logo. It looks awesome, though. It looks awesome. It looks awesome. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up, guys. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up so more people could join us here on this Christmas Eve live stream. Hey, guys, give me a second while I go drop the link to this in my Instagram. I'll be back, all right? I'll be back. All right, we're back, everyone. We're back. We're back. We are back. We are back. Yeah, I just had to drop the link right there. Let's see what I missed right here. Let's see what I miss. Apple Ricky says, emo ginger. That is true. Castellano says, I thought he had a Christmas hat on. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's pretty funny though. Apple Ricky says, I'm gonna get a voice box for my good guy doll. It will say the high on the phrases from the movie. Yeah, I saw one on Etsy or look on eBay. It's a little box, and then you could sew it into the chest. It has a little button, and you could press it. Yeah, I want to get that too. Cosplayzano says, when you see a DM, it's me. My name on IG is Alien Dancer. Awesome, Cosplay. That's cool. Cosplayzano says, has anyone here watched the entire Saw franchise I'm trying to get into? Yes, I've seen it. I seen it when it was like new coming out, you know? But it's been a few years since I watched it. I gotta rewatch it again, you know. But yeah, I remember my favorite one being Saw 2. I think Saw 2 was my favorite one. That's the one I liked the most, was Saw 2. Saw 2, I remember that movie. Saw 2000s, right? Oh yeah, I forgot. Castellano says, I only saw the third one so far, I believe. Yeah, they're all cool. But yeah, they're all fun to watch. But the best stories I from Saw, I think, were 1 through 3. After that, I don't think the effects and all that stuff was good, but I don't think the story was as engaging anymore as it was through the first 3. So yeah, that's all I got to say about Saw. Yeah, but yeah, that's awesome, guys. Poriki says, you guys can guess who I'm playing in my fan film. Let me see. In the Five Nights at Freddy's one, or the what is it called? The Clockwork Orange one, Poriki. Which one? Which one? The Five Nights at Freddy one or the Clockwork Orange one? Poriki, because we gotta know which movie, because you're making 2 of them. Remember? Taya Ghost says, hello, bro. How are you? Merry Christmas. Hello. Hello, Ty Ghost. How you doing, Ty Ghost? Or let me see. Taya Ghost or Taya Ghost or Ty Ghost. My bad. I'm butchering your name. I'm sorry. But how you doing? Merry Christmas to you too as well. I mean, Merry Christmas Eve. I mean, yeah, how you doing? Glad that you're joining us here in the channel. We haven't seen you here in the channel in a bit. Hell yeah, glad to see you. Please smash the thumbs up, yeah? Ty Ghost, please smash the thumbs up. Get us up to 18 so more people could join us here, please. Caspizano says, are you playing Carrie? Apariki says, a Clockwork Orange, canceled the Five Nights at Freddy's one. Oh, wait. A Clockwork Orange, I canceled the Five Nights at Freddy's one because it would just be way too much money. And yeah, that would be expensive, right, Apariki? The Five Nights at Freddy's one? That would be more expensive because you would need all the freaking animatronics or at least costumes that look like them. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Yeah, Ricky, making a fan film is still a lot of money, just like making a real film, you know? It's the same thing, just lower budget. Or you may have a budget, but you may not have the locations, you know, and stuff like that to match the film. So yeah, I get you, Ricky. Ricky, Carrie isn't even a Clockwork Orange. That's a whole different franchise. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Ty Ghost says, I subscribe. Thank you so much, Ty Ghost. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How's everyone spending Christmas Eve? How is everyone spending Christmas Eve? Has anyone gotten any Christmas presents yet? I think Ricky says she already got a good guy doll from Spencer's. What else has, what presents have people gotten so far already? My little sister got some presents as well too already. She got I think some blue Converse and a few Funko Pops and stuff like that. I can't really remember too much. I have to go see all the toys again. But yeah. Let me know, guys. Let me know. Let me see right here. It says, Cosplays Auto says, Ty Ghost, shout out to you subscribing. Yeah, thank you so much, Ty Ghost. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ty Ghost. Thank you so much. Let me see. Twisted Emo says, your room looks awesome. Thank you so much, Twisted Emo. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? It looks beautiful. I love it as well. My room. Oh, yeah, it's my new room. Jonathan Carpenter says, hey, what's up, Jonathan Carpenter? How are you doing? How are you doing? Please like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. My name is Frank. Welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. Today is my Christmas Eve live stream. We'll be getting into some movie news and all that good stuff right now. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Jonathan Carpenter. Oh, I think Jonathan was already here. My bad, John. Yeah, I think Jonathan was already a member here. My bad, Jonathan. which is I haven't seen you here in a while. But yeah, please smash the thumbs up, Jonathan. Please. Let me see. Jonathan says, I wish I could be there. Beware, Jonathan. Beware. Where do you want to be? Cosmizano says, like and subscribe. Aporeki says, I'm going to be remaking the ending and beginning from what I picture, what they did after that bad scene. Yes, that'd be awesome, Aporeki. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome, Aporeki. Hold on, I'm just trying to I'm trying to connect this phone to the internet, but it's not connecting. Let me see. Jonathan says, I'm in Indiana. Awesome. Awesome, Jonathan. Awesome. That's awesome to hear. I'm right here in Los Angeles, California. So we're both Americans then, huh? Hello to you from California. My Indiana neighbor. Hell yeah, like I said, we're about to get into some movie news right now. Let me just finish putting the internet on this phone. I don't know what's wrong. Yes, finally got it. Let me see. Max says, I don't like horror Christmas movies, Santa Killings. I do. What's wrong with it? That's awesome. The more horror we get, the better. Why not, Mac? Why not, Mac? Why don't you like horror movies and Christmas? I like any damn horror, bro. Aporeki says, I'm remaking the ending and the singing in the rain scene when he's just like going, singing around and stuff. But it'd be different. Instead, they knock out the husband and Alex curb stomps the wife and her face smashes like Andy and did to Chucky and Cole. Oh, yeah. Remember that? Hey, Aporeki, that scene is so funny. That scene is so funny in Cult of Chucky because Chucky is like Andy starts digging through Chucky's stomach to find that gun. Remember? And Chucky's just looking at him like he's giving him like a what the hell look, you know? That was so funny, that scene. And then when Andy stands up and tells him, thank you for coming to help me, pal. And he's like, and then Chucky just tells him, F you, you know? And then he starts stomping his face. Oh my God. That scene is hilarious, dude. That scene is just funny. It's a freaking funny ass scene. I love that scene in Cult of Chucky. I love it. Max says, listen, I don't like horror Christmas. All right, Mac, we get it. Coslizano says, I'm wondering if we're still going to get another Child's Play film soon. Well, supposedly there was going to be another one that was going to be the ending to what's his name? To Jake's story and his friends, you know, and Lexi. Supposedly, but I haven't heard of anything in a while. Twisted Emo says, me and my siblings got to open all our presents, and I got a Halloween 6 mask, Terrifier stuff, new NECA figures, some other masks, jersey, and my dad even made a custom Michael Myers pumpkin mask. That's awesome. That's awesome, God. Twisted Emo. Hope you post it on your YouTube community so I can see. Cosplayzano says, so I'm definitely going to the cinema to spectate it. To spectate what? To spectate what? The new Silent Night, Deadly Night? TCCK Gaming says, Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve to you too, TCCK Gaming. Please smash the thumbs up if you haven't, TCCK Gaming. Please. Please. Let me see. Aporeki says, guess who I'm playing in my fan film? Alex. Aporeki, are you playing Alex? Aporeki, are you playing Alex? TCCK Gaming says, favorite scene in Terrifier 3. I know everyone likes the chainsaw scene in the shower. It's a cool scene and all. But I think the scene where he's like feeding the rats into the woman's mouth, that was awesome. That was awesome. Remember in Terrifier 3? Am I right or am I a Mandela affecting myself? Because yeah, in Terrifier 3, isn't he feeding rats to that woman's mouth through that PVC pipe? Through that clear PVC pipe? Isn't that what was going on? Uh TCCK Gaming says, I already gave one. That's awesome. Thank you so much, TCCK Gaming. Castellano says to watch Child's Play if it comes out. Child's Play. Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, that would be awesome, right? That would be awesome if a new Child's Play came out. That would be awesome if a new Child's Play came out. Let me see. Aporiki says, yes, I am. I knew it. I knew you were going to be Alex. I knew it. Yeah, I could see it. TCK Gaming says, yes, sir. Yeah, that's my favorite scene. Yeah, that's my favorite scene when he's when Art the Clown's feeding the rats through the PVC pipe to the woman's throat. That was brutal. I'm gonna do something crazy, kind of like that for my next clown movie, but not with rats. It's gonna be a little different though. It's gonna be with poop. Because I don't see Damien Leon really going into, he's like all gore and blood and stuff, but he's not really going into like bodily fluids and stuff like that, like piss, poop. I'm going to do that. I'm gonna be gory, and just as well as gory, I'm going to be disgusting as well, in my clown movies coming up. So yeah. But yeah, awesome guys, awesome. Well, what else has everyone gotten for Christmas? Come on, let me know, guys. What else have you guys gotten for Christmas? I got a few things already myself. You guys want to see what I got so far already? Do you guys want to see what I got so far already? Let me know in the chat if you guys want to see what I got so far already for Christmas. Cosplayzano says, could anyone see Art the Clown merging a horror film with another horror villain? Something similar to Freddy versus Jason. We need more horror killer versus horror killer. It'll draw more fans. Yeah. I always say this, bro. That Freddy versus Jason was kind of ahead of its time. They even wanted to make Freddy versus Jason even like in the early 90s, I think. Freddy versus Jason was kind of ahead of its time still in 2003, I think. Because nowadays, I feel like nowadays, since a lot of people are running out of ideas for sequels and stuff, I feel like nowadays it's like the perfect time to start doing more versus movies, That would be the perfect time to do more versus movies. I've always wanted to see Freddy versus Michael, I've always wanted to see a sequel to Freddy versus Jason, but this time it's Freddy versus Michael Myers, instead of Freddy versus Jason 2, again, or Freddy or Michael versus Jason, because I think Michael versus Jason would be boring, because it's just two silent killers that are essentially the same dude, almost kind of the same movements, same mannerisms, I think that would get boring, because you would need like a Freddy or a Pinhead to be able to talk and deliver all those smart mouth lines that Freddy would or Pinhead would, stuff like that. So yeah, I think they're really sleeping on the versus films. They're really sleeping on them. Freddy versus Jason proved that there's a huge market for that. I know some people didn't like Freddy versus Jason, but I think that's in the minority. Most people I meet love Freddy versus Jason because it's like an early 2000s new metal horror film, Let me see what else did we get. Caslezano says it's a win-win for everyone. Yes, it is. You're right about that, Caslezano. You're right about that. Caslezano says I didn't get any gifts, but I'm fine about that. It's all good, bro. Just being alive is a gift, Just being alive is a gift. Caslezano says he had poop in the first one. I remember a while ago when I first started watching your streams, you were talking about the scene and theorizing that Damien Leon did. Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah, in the bathroom, right? In the first one when I think he writes his name, right? Yeah, you are right. TCCK Gaming, you are right. You're right about that. I remember now. Yeah, yeah, so there is poop, but he doesn't utilize it to the degree I want to utilize it, TCK Gaming, like Damien Leon, yeah, he did it more as as vandalism, he used the poop more as vandalism, But my bad, guys. I had a tongue twister. I'm so excited about this. But yeah, I would, man, dude, I would want to use the poop and pee like for murder scenes. You know, I would want to use the poop to like stuff it down someone's throat. You know, make them choke on it, or have a scene where I make the clown drink a gallon or a few gallons of piss until they die of like all the salt and the pee in their liver. You know, deteriorating their liver. You know. You know, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Cosizano says, I agree. Michael Myers and Jason with no dialogue will make it drag. Yeah, right, bro? A lot of people want to see Michael versus Jason, but that would be just boring, bro. You need another killer to deliver exposition. You know? You need a Freddy or a Pinhead or someone or the Grabber, you know, someone like that could still talk and deliver exposition. Talk about the history of Jason and and Freddy or whoever's fighting each other, you know? Just like in the beginning of Freddy versus Jason. Remember, it's Freddy, the one giving the exposition. He's the one talking about his past crimes and how they killed him and how he found a way to come back, you know? And that's when we start talking about Jason. Because Jason's not able to talk, Michael's not able to talk, so they're not able to give exposition. So you would need a Freddy or a Pinhead or someone, or the Grabber even, because he could talk too, to deliver the exposition in a versus movie. Let me see. Aporeki says Michael and Jason are both horrible and brutal, but that's hard. Who would win? But that's hard. Who would win? You know? Well, I think different versions of Michael and Jason could take on each other, you know? Like, I feel like Halloween 78 Michael, Halloween 2 Michael could take on Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason, Friday the 13th Part 3, even Part 4 Jason. But after Part 4, I feel that Michael Myers more from like Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween Rob Zombies. That would be more of the ones that could take on the undead zombie Jason, you know? Because Halloween 6, Michael's like basically undead himself. You know, he's under a freaking curse and he can't die no matter what you do to him. Rob Zombie's Halloween Michael is just ginormous and huge. And, you know, the perfect match to take on Jason, you know. So, yeah, different versions of them could take each other on, you know. Aporeki says, the scene in Terrifier 1 and on Hallows Eve where R wiped the S on the poop on the wall. And how did Damien Leone think about that? Like, did he do that when he was a little kid or something? Well, most likely he probably did. Because I kind of want to do something similar in my upcoming horror movie, you know? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hey, guys, I'm going to be shooting the next clown movie in 6K. I'm going to be shooting the next clown movie in 6K. I'm going to try my best to get it on Amazon Prime and Hulu. Caslizano says, Michael Myers would destroy Jason Voorhees. Michael doesn't have any weaknesses. That we know of so far. Yeah, that we know of so far. But you know what? In a Freddy versus Michael movie, they could utilize a weakness for Michael. You know how Michael doesn't really die so easily? Maybe they could make a weakness that maybe he fears death. That's why he tries so hard to stay alive, you know? Maybe he fears death for some reason, and that's how Freddy is able to control him and get in his mind, you know? Just like how he did with Jason and Freddy versus Jason. He utilized the fear of Jason and water and his domineering mother, you know, to control him. Well, maybe they could write something, you know, a good script writer, or maybe me. Nah, I'm just kidding. But they could write something where, you know, they create that Michael, since he's not able to die so easily, he probably does have a fear of death because he's never died and doesn't know what it's like, you know. So when he finally dies, they could utilize that to get Freddy to take control of him and get him to kill for him when he resurrects Michael or something like that. TCCK Gaming says, I'm cracking up in real life. Yeah, man, that was pretty funny, right? I was all having a tongue twister. I couldn't even talk about it, bro. That's how excited I got, because I want to do something similar in my clown movie that I'm trying to get going hopefully next year. Cosmizano says, imagine Leprechaun versus Chucky with the funny one-liners. Man, that would be hilarious as F. Yeah, that would be good. That would be funny. I remember that was like a rumor about that movie back like 20 years ago, like around 2006, 2007. Cosmizano says, I'm going to invest in a camera for filming. Any camera recommendations? So far, the best camera that I know of and that I've used, and the camera that my producer recommended for me using right now is a Blackmagic cinema camera, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. Look it up. Cosplayzano, look it up. The Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K. It's very affordable, and it's a Netflix, Hulu approved, Amazon Prime Video approved camera. So those are the kind of cameras they use to shoot like Netflix content, Hulu content, Amazon Prime content, and stuff like that. Even major motion pictures. I think Terrifier 2 you also use the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K for Terrifier 2 as well as one of the cameras they used. So yeah, that's the camera I'm gonna be getting. It's affordable too as well. You know, I don't want to make my mom spend so much money on a like freaking huge ass camera rig. So I'm just gonna buy the camera and I'll start building the rig little by little and stuff like that, you know? But yeah, that's the camera I'm gonna be getting soon around January. That's another one of my Christmas presents. That one's gonna take a little while longer though to get here. Because it was between a new skateboard and a camera, and I was like, I really need my new board too right now to get around town, you know? So yeah, I could wait on the camera. I'm not gonna start prepping for the Clown 2 until we're like done with Halloween ends anyway. So yeah, it's all good with the camera right now. But yeah, Cosplayzano, I recommend you getting the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera. That's the camera I'm gonna get. It's a Netflix approved and all. Bro, that camera, once you like turn it on, put a lens on it, and just look through the viewfinder. I mean not the viewfinder, the little monitor that it has in the back, it already looks like content. It already like the camera, it's so powerful, and the lens is so powerful that like the image quality looks so great that it looks like it's already part of content. It just looks like screenshots from a movie, you know? So yeah. Apple Ricky says, I'm wearing a wig when I play Alex. Yeah, that's awesome, Apple Ricky. Well, you have to. Alex had like shortish. Alex has shortish, kind of longish hair, like a little longer than mine. Like my sides are buzzed, short, but he had longer sides. Yeah, his hair was kind of like mine, but a little longer from the back. Apple Ricky says, oh my God, yes, Cosplayzano. Max says, because he is immortal and immune everything. He has no weakness. Yeah, that is true. Cosplayzano says, Ricky, you know any good ones? Caleb Hall says, I hope you have a spooky, scary Christmas. I hope you have a spooky, scary Christmas too, Caleb. I hope so too, man. I hope so too. Take care and enjoy the evening with your family. Caleb says, watch out for Krampus. Yeah, man, Krampus. He's the Christmas killer Santa guy, huh? Demon. Santa Claus is really a demon. Yeah, I know, bro. Yeah, I know. It makes sense though. All these holidays, if you think about it. So, what is it? Caleb just mentioned that Santa Claus is actually a demon. He's not wrong, bro. He's not wrong. Let me see. So yeah, so like how Caleb just mentioned that Santa Claus is really a demon. He's not wrong because all these holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, starting with Halloween, it's all part of well, maybe not Halloween, that's fall, but it's all part of like the winter solstice celebration, you know? And Christmas is not really Christmas, guys. Christmas, we're actually celebrating the winter solstice, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so yeah, Caleb Hall is right. Caleb Hall's right. Santa's actually a demon, Krampus, and we're celebrating a pagan holiday called the winter solstice, and there's also the summer solstice as well, which Halloween could still probably be connected to that because like the fall, it's still kind of hot during the fall, you know, during the fall and stuff like that. So, but yeah, like I would mark Halloween as the beginning of all those holidays because around Halloween is when you start giving like that's the beginning of those holidays when you start giving food away and stuff like that, you know, and then you're followed by Thanksgiving and then Christmas, you know. It's all even Halloween. Think about it, guys. Even Halloween is all about giving stuff. Think about it. Even Halloween is all about giving stuff away, you know. So that's why I consider still Halloween to be connected to like this whole winter solstice celebration because that marks the holidays where people start giving away things like food, candy, you know? What do we do in Thanksgiving as well? We give away food, right? You know? Sometimes maybe a gift here and there, you know? Maybe rare, but it could happen. Christmas, what do? We give away presents and food, you know? So this is all the winter solstice celebration. Everyone's actually celebrating the demon Krampus. So yeah. Yeah. Castellano says, all right, I'm going to look at the same name of the camera again. I'll look it up. All right, I'm going to say the name of the camera again. It's a Blackmagic cinema camera. Blackmagic Pocket cinema camera. Look it up, bro. It's a very popular camera. A lot of people use that camera, bro. Once you see it, you're going to be like, oh, dude, I think I've seen that shit around some people's necks. You know? But yeah, Cosplay's Ono. It's called the Blackmagic Pocket cinema camera. Get the 6K one, bro. Get the 6K one. That's the newest one and the best one. That's the one I'm going to get. Ido says, Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas, Ido. Merry Christmas. Glad to see you here on the live stream. Another episode of Horror. No, today's not Horror Talk Wednesday. Today's not my Christmas Eve live stream. Today's my Christmas Eve live stream. Today is my Christmas Eve live stream. Glad to see you here. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Ido, please smash the thumbs up. Yes. So more people could join us here. TCCK Gaming says Michael versus Sam. Sam from Trick or Treat. Depending which Michael. If it's like 78 Michael, maybe he could take him on because that's a full human Michael. Halloween 2 Michael could take on Sam though because that's already like a supernatural Michael. But Sam's a sneaky. Sam's sneaky. He's a little short kid demon basically, you know? With the burlap freaking costume on. And he's really small too. So I feel like Sam, even though like he's small, his size could really help him out a lot because he could be sneaking or hiding in corners and shadows. And Michael's like up here all tall, right? Looking, you know, just, you know, right above his shoulders, you know? And Sam could just sneak up and sneak attack Michael, you know? But Sam better not let Michael get a hold of him, you know? He's going to squeeze him with those strong-ass freaking serial killer hands. Aporiki says Santa like a creep. Anshaw Daniel says why is you right? Why is I right? Am I right? Am I right about Christmas or what? Anshaw, if you're new here to the channel, welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. My name is Frank. Welcome to my Christmas Eve live stream. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you're a horror fan. Smash the thumbs up. Max says, who's Sam? Sam from Trick or Treat. Come on. You don't know who Sam is? Caleb says, let's mix Halloween and Christmas. That would be cool. That would be cool. It could probably work. Imagine the shape on Christmas. Second channel of the Gremlin. Hi, me currently making a giant plushie of Gary Roach Sanderson. That's awesome. That's awesome, second channel. Hey, second channel, are you someone from the channel already? Are you someone we know already from the channel or are you new here? Second channel, are you new here? Let me see. Castellano says, wait a minute. Is that a Leatherface mask I spy with my eyes? Yes, it is. That is my Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 mask right there. I have it right there chilling. I have it right there. We're going to make a fan film of that maybe this summer. Last summer we did this summer we did Friday the 13th. Maybe next summer we could do Texas Chainsaw. Let me see. Caleb says the Grim Reaper versus the Devil. Probably the Devil, bro, because I don't know. So I think the Grim Reaper is just a keeper of souls, bro. I don't think the Grim Reaper is like evil or anything like that. I think the Grim Reaper is just in charge of going to pick up souls once they're dead and in charge of leaving them off wherever they get to go, you know? So honestly, I think the Devil might probably win because he might be a more powerful deep demonic force than death or the Grim Reaper. But I'll be honest, the Grim Reaper looks cooler though. The Grim Reaper looks cooler with his hood and his dark, you know, face and his sai and his skeleton hands. He looks like Ghostface. The Devil looks weird. The Devil looks weird. He has like a freaking like a goatee. He has like a freaking a chicken foot and a horse foot and a pitchfork. Nah, I don't like that look. I like the look of the Grim Reaper better with his cloak, you know, black cloak, a scythe. Looks way more epic. But yeah, I think Satan might win though, because he's a probably stronger demon. Apple Ricky says, mix Halloween and Christmas. Watch Nightmare Before Christmas. Second channel says, I'm new. Awesome, second channel. Awesome. Glad to have you here. Welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. My name is Frank. Today is my, well, usually it's Horror Talk Wednesdays, but today is my Christmas Eve live stream. So, you know, like and subscribe. Second channel, smash the thumbs up. Yeah, get us up to 26, second channel, so more people could join us here. TCCK Gaming says, does anyone remember season Screamings? It was pretty much Midsummer Scream, but Christmas and that smaller venue. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that a few years back. Is it still a thing? I don't think it's a thing anymore, though, because I haven't seen anyone like mention any conventions of that anymore. Coslizano says, I know some people decorate Christmas trees on Halloween with Halloween decorations. That's cool. I'll probably do that next year. Second channel says, I just got 400 glue sticks. That's awesome, bro. What are you going to use them for? Max says, hold the phone a minute. Don't you recall Halloween 6 H2O and Resurrection Mask? Hold the phone. Minute. Don't you recall Halloween 6 H2O and Resurrection Mask? Yes, I'm actually, funny that you say that. I'm actually in the process of rehauling a Halloween H2O mask right now. The version 1 mask, though. Dude, I ain't get tongue twister. Not the second one. Not the second one, the Stan Winston one with the long neck. I'm rehauling the first version. Yeah, but yeah, I am rehauling an H2O mask right now. You guys know. Hopefully I can have it done by Myers Monday so I could post the video. I'm also going to be rehauling a Resurrection mask, too. The one I have right here. Right there. Right here. This one right here. I'm also going to be rehauling that as well. And my Halloween 6 mask, I don't think I'm going to rehaul it, though. I think the Tots paint is good. The only thing I'm going to do is just darken in the lips a bit. And maybe add those little bluish, teal, greenish looks that it has. That's about it, though. Cosidano says, you ever thought about collecting Gremlins collectibles? I have one Gremlins toy. It's right there. It's a NECA figure on a box. I'll show it to you guys in a bit. And yeah, bro, yeah, I seen those big Gremlin toys. I need one of them. I do. Apple Ricky says, I put picture from Children of the Corn being the bastard child of a Santa and a female nun. That's awesome, Apple Rick. Wicked Milk says, nice. What's up, Wicked Milk? How you doing? Merry Christmas Eve, bro. Please smash the thumbs up right there. Get us up to 26, bro, please. Apple Ricky says, hey, Wicked Milk, what's up? Caleb says, if you're on the naughty, it's Liz Krampus is going to get you. Yup, he is. Wicked Milk says, what's up, Apple? Caleb says, if you've seen Santa Claus, run for your life. Second channel says, I'm going to use them to market Fleet Figueroa of the Warrior cat characters. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Caslizano says, I was thinking about cosplaying the Grinch, but I don't have anywhere to go this year for it. Definitely next year. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm not going out anywhere this year for Christmas. I'm going to chill here at home, bro. I got movies to make. I got masks to paint right now. Like, I'll go out on Mondays. This whole weekend is going to be family weekend. I'll go out on Monday, though, to the nightclub, where I hang out with the homies. Caslizano says, which Gremlin you got, Stripers or Gizmo? I forgot his name, bro. Hold on, wait up. It's this one, though. It's this one. Cosplayzano, I got this one. Look. I got this one. I forgot his name, though. Apple Ricky says, I got goals for 2026. That's awesome. Caleb says, the Grinch horror movie is cool. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard, what's his name? David Howard Thornton plays him. Apple Ricky says, my goal is to become an actress. Get my project on my role model, John Franklin. That's awesome. Kazizano says, Apple, hope you pray and get you complete your goals. Wicked Milk says, I was doing a Christmas Ghostface robe, but was too lazy to finish it. That's awesome, cosplay. We should let us see it sometime. Kazizano says, that's Stripes, my favorite gremlin. Yeah, that one's sick, right? That one's sick. That one is sick. All right, guys. All right, so yeah, let's start getting into some movie news. I got some movie news here today. I still got some movie news today. Even though it's not the regular Horror Talk Wednesdays, we still got some movie news to go over, right? Caleb says, I hope to get into the horror business. Hell yeah, Caleb. Hell yeah, get into it, bro. It's an awesome business. Start making short films. If you want to get into the horror business, I really recommend you just start making short films. Start making short horror films. It's pretty easy to get into the horror business right now. And you know, and to be honest, it's kind of easy to get into the film business now. Like I'm not saying it's super easy, but it's much more easier than it was back in the 90s, early 2000s, 70s. Because everything's digital now, you know? So you could just shoot your own films and just eventually you meet connections. Eventually your films will get seen by people and you'll get contacted, bro. Trust. Trust. Max says, how about Halloween 6 H2O Resurrection mask? Yes, I have all those masks. Mac, I have all those masks. I have the Resurrection mask, I have the H2O mask, and the 6 mask. I'm currently rehauling the H2O one. Next one is going to be probably the 6 mask. Second channel says, have you heard of The Last of Us? It's really good. Yes, I've heard of The Last of Us. Yes, I heard of the TV show. Wasn't it books at first or a video game, I think, at first? Poriki says, middle school was wild. I want to hear his story I experienced in 6th or 7th grade. What was it, Poriki? What was it? Caleb Hall says, thanks. Yes. All right, guys. Let's start getting into some movie news. Casilano says, have you ever heard of, had the Halloween 2 mask? Yes, I have Halloween 2 mask. I have the Halloween 2 mask. I have it rehauled and nicely over there. Second channel says, the game came first, then the series. Okay, cool. Yeah, it was a game first, yeah. All right, guys, let's start getting into some movie news. I got some movie news that you guys might want to hear. Okay, so Small Screen on Facebook. Small Screen on Facebook.com is reporting Terrifier 4. Listen up, Terrifier fans. Listen up. Casilano says, spill the movie news, brother. All right, guys, yeah. So listen up, Terrifier fans. Terrifier fans, listen up. Terrifier 4 will be an epic final chapter to the brutal saga. You guys heard that? Apparently, Terrifier 4 is going to be the last movie in the Terrifier saga. So let's read this quick. Terrifier 4 is being teased as the epic final chapter, with Art's origins finally on the table. Damien Leone is promising a big closure with Art the Clown, heading for his ultimate showdown with Sienna. David Howard Thorne and Lauren Lavera are expected to return, and the rumor is late 2026 Halloween release. Oh, damn, that's next year. Bro, that's next year already. That's next year. That means they're probably going to start shooting soon. If they're aiming for a fall release. Dude, look at the artwork. It looks great. Look at the artwork. TCCK Gaming says, I bet some other director is going to take over Terrifier like all the other horror franchises. Probably, yeah. Probably. But that's only if Damien Leone allows it to, because he still has the rights to the character in the film. I think he still owns the rights to the character in the film. So another director is only going to be able to come in if he allows it to, or if he allows a studio to get the rights for a bit, to get the licensing of Terrifier for a bit. That's the only way another director is going to be able to direct it, is if it's directly from Damien Leone, or if another studio like Universal or something like that rents the rights to Terrifier, you know. But yeah, that's crazy. Let me see. Caleb says, I look forward to the final Terrifier movie. Me too, bro. Me too. Second channel says, have you watched Murder Drones? It's peak. I haven't seen that. I gotta be honest, second channel, I've not seen that. Wicked Milk says, no way. That's the last movie, bro. Give it 5 to 10 years. They'll make more. Yeah, that's what TCCK Gaming or Caleb was saying, that eventually there'll be another director to come in. But like I said, that's only gonna happen if Damien Leone sells the rights, or if he rents the licensing to another studio so they can make Terrifier films. You know. Other than that, he owns that. He'll probably be the director forever if he ever wants to make more. Casilano says, Wicked Milk, sup, bro? You all right? Caleb says, would you rather be vampire or werewolf? Vampire or werewolf? I think I'd rather be a vampire, bro. A vampire. But werewolves look cool too, though. Don't get me wrong. But I'd rather be a vampire because I like wearing leather jackets and leather gloves and all that gothic kind of stuff. I mean, werewolves dress gothic too. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like werewolves usually when they become werewolves, they lose their clothes and it rips and they become like animalistic. Well, vampires could still operate while wearing clothes and stuff, but some of them are shapeshifters too. So yeah, I think I'd rather be the vampire though. Aboregi says, I'm also wanting to get the rights to remake Children of the Corn. Yeah, you see, that's how it works. You get like a couple thousand or $1 million or so, not thousand, millions, bro. And you're able to rent the licensing and make your own versions of the film, you know? Second channel says, you need to watch Murder Drones. It's amazing. Yes, thank you for recommending. Thank you for recommending second channel. I will. Oh, Wicked Milk says, what's good, homie? I've been slowly self-improving here. What about you? Hell yeah, good to hear that, Wicked Milk. Good to hear that, bro. Good to hear that. Good to hear that. All right, we got some more movie news, guys. We got some more movie news right here. All right, we got some more movie news, guys. Who remembers the movie Home Alone? Who remembers Home Alone? Whoever's like 30 or like 40 or 20 something remembers the movie Home Alone. They remember the movie Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister, you know, that rich kid who lives in that big ass house. Remember that? Well, I think he was richer in Richie Rich, but he was still pretty rich in uh in uh in uh in Home Alone. I think in Home Alone, that's what you would call middle class back then. I think that's what you would have called middle class back then in Home Alone, the first movie. I think that's what you would have called because in Richie Rich, that's rich. He's rich. Now he's definitely like president or like million billionaire rich in Richie Rich. But I think in Home Alone, he's like more like a wealthy, like upper middle class, you know. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's rumors of a new Home Alone movie. Well, let me see what these guys have been saying though. Cosmedonna says we're gonna get another Jeepers Creepers, but it's gonna follow up with the events of the first one. The plot is Trish getting revenge from her brother's loss. I'm intrigued. It's going that route. That's awesome. That sounds great. I gotta check that out right now. Wicked Milk says Murder Drones. What is that about? The Russia-Ukraine war. Cosmedano says Wicked Milk. I'm glad you hear that. Caleb says, would you rather be a warlock of light or darkness? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Both. Both. I would want to operate both forces. I would want to operate both forces. Like a gray Jedi, you know? Or like those gray Sith, no, those gray Force users or the gray Jedi or whatever they're called. Those Jedis that could use both dark side and light side. Dominic says, yes, Home Alone. Yeah, I'm going to get into it right now. Casidano says, I remember Home Alone. My favorite one was part 2, Lost in New York. Yeah, I think that one was my favorite one as well, the second one. Cosplayzano. Honestly, I think I saw Home Alone part 2 first. I think I saw Home Alone Part 2 first, and I thought it was the first one. Because as a kid, I was dumb, bro. I used to read the title as one whole thing. So I would read it as Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. So I wouldn't take the 2 into consideration that it was like the part 2 for the movie. I just thought it was a 2, you know? So I just read it as one full sentence, you know? Like I just read it as Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Like that. You know, so I thought Home Alone. And I used to think Kevin's name was Home Alone, bro. That's how dumb I was as a kid, bro. I used to think Kevin's name was Home Alone, bro. And I used to think the 2 was like I used to think the second movie was the first one, you know? That's just wild, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Apariki says, of course I remember Home Alone. Wicked Milk says classic. Second channel says it's currently 0055 for me. I'm gonna stay up. That's awesome, bro. Constantino says Marvin made me laugh in the Home Alone movies. Yup, he was great. He was great, wasn't he? What's up, everyone? Favorite Home Alone. Apareki says one time in middle school, this kid thought to be a good idea to poop in the sink. After he did that, the principal washed his hands. He got some on his hand and got mad. He literally threw the paper towel. Damn, that sucks. Feel sorry for that principal. Apareki says machine across the bathroom. Caleb says, We'd rather have the Grim Reaper's powers or the Devil's powers. The Grim Reapers to take souls. Thinking says speak Hindi or bija poor. I can't speak Hindi. I'm a Mexican. I'm an LA Mexican. I wish I could speak Hindi. I think eventually the Hindu and Indian language will be bigger in the United States. That eventually us here too and have to like learn to speak it as well. Kind of like Spanish. Like eventually here in America we're gonna be all like bilingual. Everyone's gonna speak more than English. Like I already speak Spanish as well, but that comes naturally because I'm Hispanic. But eventually we're all gonna speak languages that we're not that are not native to our tongue. Wicked Milk says laughing my ass off. Castellano says laugh out loud, Frank. I'm cracking up over about. Oh yeah, Castellano says laugh out loud, Frank. I'm cracking up over here about you reading the title wrong, bro. Yeah, that was funny back in the '90s, bro. Kids were dumber back then, or at least I was. I read it as the whole thing. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I didn't take into consideration the two meant that it was the part two of the movie. And I used to think Kevin's name was Home Alone, bro. That's crazy, right? My cousin, when we were younger, I would listen to Nirvana a lot, and I would be playing the Smells Like Teen Spirit music video. And one time my cousin came into the room, and he was watching the video with me, and then he was like, "Oh, which one's Nirvana?" Because in the video they're all playing, in the pep rally in the school gym. And then Kurt's out just walking around singing, and you see shots of Kurt and Dave playing as well. And my cousin didn't know which one, didn't know who Kurt was. He was into like Mexican gangster rap. He didn't know none of this white boy stuff. And he comes into the room one day. He's like, "Which one's Nirvana? Is it the blonde white boy?" I just started laughing, bro, because he thought Kurt Cobain's name was Nirvana. That was funny, bro. That was funny. Oh man. Wicked Milk says, when I was a kid, I thought Ghostface was death, like literally death itself, the official form of it. Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying because in the movie, the costume is called Father Death. Remember when Dewey shows the costume packaging to the freaking sheriff, to Sheriff Burke, and he's like, creepy, huh? And it says Father Death. That's. I used to think Ghost as I thought something similar. Wicked Milk. I thought something similar because the shot was so quick. You don't see the full name. You just see the father part and then says death. You don't see the of part really. No, the of no the part. No. Okay. So yeah, the costume packaging says Father Death. I used to think as a kid that it had an OF in the middle. Of. I used to think it had the word of in the middle. So I used to think Ghostface's name was Father of Death. Because of the costume packaging in the movie. And my dumb ass thought there was the word of in the middle. So I used to think his name was Father of Death, until I found, and then later on though, and trip out. Later on, when I go to school, I realized that all the other kids were calling Ghostface Scream. That was funny back in the '90s, bro. All the kids at school, like I was calling Ghostface Father of Death, but the kids at school were calling the Ghostface Scream because I guess no one really picked up on the name or something. And I guess they didn't really mention the name Ghostface that much in that movie. Only once in the garage with Tatum, So when I dressed up as Ghostface for Halloween 1997 or 98, one of those, I went to school dressed as Ghostface. First time dressed as Ghostface for Halloween. And all the kids were like, "Oh, you're dressed as Scream? Oh, Frank is dressed as Scream." All the kids were calling Ghostface Scream. That was just a weird thing in the 90s where like kids from my generation were calling characters and stuff like that by the movie title, So yeah, that's crazy, yeah. So I get where you're coming from, Wicked Milk. Alpericky said, I was laughing so hard in my head. I was laughing so hard in my head. It was a little sixth grader boy. Okay, Alpericky. Yeah, who pooped in the sink? Oh man, that's nasty, Alpericky. That kid is nasty. Wicked Milk says, I'd call him La Muerte or a Morte. Yeah, that's funny, man. That's funny. Castellano says, well, what's one scary event everyone has been through in the lifetime so far? For me, it was a tornado. Hope nobody here has to go through. I was in a car crash, bro. I was in a car crash with my cousin and my other cousin. This was like in 2007. This is like 20 years ago, though. This is like 20 years ago, though. This is like 20 years ago, like 2007, like, I don't know, maybe like the spring 2007, like March, April, around that time. And my cousin, she used to go to high school near mine, and my other cousin went to her high school, so they would pick me up after school, you know. And one day we were going back home, you know, and we were going on this intersection, right? You know those intersections like this, that like it's like a cross. So we were going straight, and then it was our turn. It was our turn to go because there was the light green to go forward. But this other idiot coming from like the other side, from the right, took the yellow light, and he hit us on the back of the tail of the car, and we spun around, dude. That shit was crazy, bro. I was in a car just going like boom, like. Bruh, you know, it was wild because it was like a washing machine, bro. Like literally it happened so fast. All you hear was a crash, and then just the freaking the cockpit of the steering wheel where you sit in the car is just spinning, you know? And I was sitting in the back, bro, and I was just looking around like, what the hell? And then once it's like the car starts flipping, like we're like, bro, and it's shaking, and like the like two windows cracked. Well, I think my side cracked, and what is it called? And where the car hit was the side of where my cousin was, but it was the remember we got hit like in the ass of the car, like in the back, like where the trunk was kind of, you know, and it still dented the door in the back in the passenger where I was, but not my side though. The window on my side was broken, and so was the on the passenger side where I was, but the door also got dented, dude, from the hit and the spin. That shit was crazy. Next thing you know, me and my cousin, after the car stopped spinning, we're okay. We're just like bleeding from like our forehead, luckily. My other cousin too, she was a girl as well. She was the one driving. She was okay too. She had no scratches on her, by the way. But me and my other cousin did, though. We were bleeding from our foreheads and shit. We looked kind of cool, though. Like we were like in Jurassic Park or something. We survived, you know? But yeah, we got out of the car. We jumped through the windows, and we were about to go beat up the guy who crashed us, until my cousin called us back, and she's like, dude, if you guys beat the guy up, even if you guys are minors, you guys could still, you know, get charges, and your parents could like serve those charges for you guys, you know? So we stopped, you know, and then the ambulance came and all that, you know, BS and all that stuff. They cleaned us up. I didn't want to go to the hospital. I was good. I was like, nah, hell no, I don't want to go to no hospital, bro. It's just going to take long as hell, you know? And I was good. I just went home after. I just cleaned my forehead up. My neck was hurting, though. My neck was hurting for like about like a month or so. I even tried to leave school. I even tried to leave school one day, and they didn't want to let me leave. Though I was like, bro, I was in a car accident. My freaking neck hurts sitting here all day. And oh, we can't let you leave though. Ridiculous though. But yeah, that was one scary experience out of many I've had in my life. Let me see. Cosplayzano, Caleb says Aztec horror movies sound cool, don't you think? Yeah, I wish they would make more like Apocalypto. Caleb, have you seen Apocalypto? Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. That's kind of a horror movie itself, bro. Caleb says Mexican horror theme sounds good. Yes, there is a lot of Mexican horror folklore as well that a lot of people don't really delve into too much. Maybe one day I could make like a Llorona movie. But really Mexican, though. Really Mexican it up, you know? Really delve into the folklore of it. I am not Asin. Do you know the concept of drag names? It's popular on Twitter. Nope, I don't. What do you mean by drag names? Do you get your name and you drag it or something? Or do you like cut your name out in blocks and you drag it? Is that what you mean by drag names? I'm not Asian or Asin, or I don't know what that means. But yeah, is that what you mean? I am not Asin by drag names? Like you cut out block letters and you like tie a rope and you drag it? Is that what you mean? I'm confused. Scott Davis says American, I guess. Yes, American. American right here, Scott Davis. Why? What are you, Scott Davis?
Where are you watching from, Scott Davis? Caleb says, I made a Mexican vampire segment a long time ago. Yes. Yeah, crazy enough, there is also a lot of Mexican like vampire folklore as well. There is. Wicked Milk says, scary event. Like when I was a kid, I used to see ghosts and stuff. Yeah, that's crazy too. I have my fair share of ghost stories as well, bro. I have my fair share. Apariki says it's when I picture after they did the scene what I can't talk about. Yes, yes, and Clockwork Orange. Yes, don't mention that scene, please, Apariki. Kazizan says I'm glad you are still here, Frank. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. I almost died once, a few times actually, a few times, man, a few times. I'm like Michael Myers, bro. Somehow I just can't die. Somehow I just can't die, you know. Uh, Damn, who deleted all these messages? Cosplays. Damn. Max says, I have watched to do exactly goodbye. I have watched. I have, or do you mean I have a lot to do exactly goodbye and I'll see you next year? Take care, Mac. Take care. Enjoy your New Year's. Enjoy your Christmas. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care of yourself this holiday season. Wicked Milk says, when I was a kid, I always slept in the living room. Lights on. I saw effing walking demons shadow casting in the wall, bro. It's literally something you won't believe till you see it. Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it, man. Trust me, I've seen it. Jose Zana says, also saw like a dead kid's ghost in my backyard. Damn, bro, I got a lot of scary stories, not gonna lie. Yeah. Abariki says, like, Yorona, my aunt saw her when she was a teenager. She was chased by her years ago. She's real. Yes, I've heard of her growing up as well, Aporiki. Cosmidano says there's a haunted landmark in the Dominican Republic where my dad's family's from. A lot of people tend to visit it and are triggered afterwards. I'm gonna find the name out and tell you next live. Yeah, Wicked Milk says I like to Frank, but most of the times I almost died. I was skateboarding. Me, you know what's crazy? I almost died skateboarding once, only once, and I don't even think I almost died though either, but kind of. I've never died, dude. That's crazy. Skateboarding is so dangerous, and I've never like actually almost died skateboarding. Like I remember cracking my. You see the scar right here? I remember cracking my nose open once trying to do like a 180 or a 360 off a table, and the nose of the skateboard like literally like stabbed into me. Like I landed it. I landed on the nose of the skateboard like this. Then I woke up a few seconds later on the floor, just warm, like you know when you're bleeding, like you know when you don't know you're bleeding, but you feel something. It's like warm. That's how my face felt. I was like, what the heck? Everything is so warm. Now I want to touch my face. Is bright red blood. And then I just look at the floor and you just see spots of blood falling. And then I look at a mirror and then I see this open and my white bone showing and like pinkish red meat inside. I was like, damn. Somehow it didn't hurt though. It didn't hurt. It hurt more when they did the stitches, but it didn't really hurt when I received the impact. It must have been the adrenaline. Cosplayzano says, Cosplayzano says the person was spamming Frank. That's just why I put the person on timeout. Let me see. In engine, what does this say? What is this lame name right here? Hey guys, chat. What is this lame name right here that came out? Engine Requimoco 11. He typed YAG. What does YAG mean? What does YAG mean? Huh? It must be some incel in his mom's garage. Merry Christmas, Engine, whoever you are, Engine loser, whatever your name is. Let me see. Cosplayzano says facts, bro. Was spamming no voice like 200 times. I didn't even read it, bro. I didn't even read it. I was too busy telling you guys my near death experience. Aporiki says she's very real. You don't want to encounter her. She'll probably kill you. Yes, I've heard about her, Aporiki. I heard about her around bonfires and campfires growing up, bro. Around barbecues, carne asadas and stuff. People would talk about that. Alcezano says, bro, the whole time I thought that was a birthmark on the bridge of your nose. Nah, bro. No, that's a birthmark. Yeah, that's a birthmark. But this little check mark right here, this is a scar from skateboarding. This little check mark right here. My birthmark is right here, but I covered it with my hair. See? Bam, it's gone. But yeah, OG Wicked Milk says, me too. All right, guys, let's continue into the news. So yeah, Macaulay Culkin, pitch for a new Home Alone is dark, genius, and we need it now. Oh, so check it out. Macaulay Culkin's pitch for a new Home Alone. He wants to make it dark. Let's see what it says. 3.5 decades after Home Alone first hit theaters, the film has found fresh life on Disney Plus, where it has been sitting near the top of the platform since early November. The renewed attention, along with Macaulay Culkin's anniversary tour, has pulled the franchise back into the spotlight in an unexpected way. During those appearances, Culkin revealed that he has his own idea for a new Home Alone project, and it is far removed from the slapstick tone fans know by heart. His pitch imagines Kevin McAllister as an adult facing a much heavier kind of threat, pushing the story towards darker ground with real tension. The response has been quick and curious. People are drawn to it because it lets Kevin grow up, placing him in a rougher, less predictable situation that feels genuinely different. Macaulay Culkin shares idea for Home Alone sequel 35 years after original film. Let me see. Macaulay Culkin didn't present a glossy fantasy. In his pitch, Kevin is a single father, either widowed or divorced and stretched thin by work and parenting. The tension grows until a moment of pure frustration leads to him getting locked out of his home by his own kid. That alone is a strange turn for a franchise built on burglaries and comedic mishaps. Furthermore, Kevin's son becomes the one wiring the house, creating a physical standoff that mirrors their emotional distance. Macaulay described the home as a metaphor for the relationship, with Kevin fighting to earn his way back into his child's trust. Is simple, clever, and grounded in the same spirit that made the first film memorable. Instead of copying the old formula, idea frames the thought of family tension. What? Well, the thought of family tension believed for adult Kevin. That's crazy. I would have thought more of Kevin protecting his kids or something from the burglars, you know. But I don't know, man. I don't know about this pitch though. I was excited at first, but now I'm not so excited because now they're just making it into some freaking family comedy movie that is going to be about a dad getting locked outside the house, and the house is a metaphor for their like strained relationship, you know. So like, I don't know if I like that very much. I would prefer it if Kevin was home alone with his kids and there's like burglars or the wet bandits, you know, trying to enter in, and you could make it darker and more horror-esque. But yeah, they're going for the Cobb family stuff still. A connection deeper than nostalgia. The pitch didn't come out of nowhere. During his tour, Macaulay marked the 35th anniversary of the original film and shared stories that reminded fans of why the franchise has lasted. He talked about his early days on set, including moment Joe Pesci accidentally bit his finger during rehearsal. The scar is still there, and he laughed through the memory, calling it a souvenir. Exchanges like that lit up the audience because they showed how much of that experience shaped him even off the camera. He also mentioned that his children have no clue he is the kid in Home Alone, which adds a funny layer to the idea of Kevin getting outsmarted by the next generation. Macaulay said his kids already play with trap ideas after seeing the movie, and that little detail makes his pitch feel even more natural. So yeah, the idea has sparked debate beyond fans. Chris Columbus, huh? Who direct? Oh yeah. Chris Columbus, who directed the first movie. What a name! The first two films has openly pushed back, arguing that Home Alone belongs to a specific moment that should not be revisited. His stance adds tension to the discussion, even as interest in Culkin's pitch continues to grow. What keeps people engaged is the concept moves forward instead of circling old around. And adult Kevin feels like a natural next step, not a rehash of a holiday. Streaming numbers indicate that the audience is still there, and Culkin's idea suggests he knows how to respect the past without relying on it. The buzz has only grown, and the timing makes sense. The kids who grew up with Kevin are adults now too. If a studio gives this pitch real consideration, many viewers would be ready to follow. Like I said, though, it's an interesting idea. It's cool and all that he wants to make a new one, but that's not the direction I would go. That is not the direction I would go. I would go in a more darker, more like a Panic Room. You guys ever seen Panic Room? I think wasn't Jennifer Lopez in that? Oh, no, that was enough. But yeah, Panic Room. Yeah, I would go more in that direction. Say like some burglars are trying to come into the house, the wet bandits, you know, and he's trying to protect his kids. Now Kevin has real guns, you know, real grenades, real dynamite, real knives, real weapons to play with, you know, real flamethrowers. You know, stuff like that. I would do that. But you know what? Oh well, to each their own, not my franchise. Let's see what I missed here, guys. We got some Friday the 13th news coming up as well. Janik said hi. What's up, Janik? What's up? If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. My name is Frank. Today is my Christmas Eve live stream. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Smash the thumbs up right there so more people can catch this live stream. Let me see. Wicked Milk says, do y'all think they'll release a Scream 7 trailer before 2026? Probably, maybe. Maybe we'll get it for Christmas or sometime after Christmas or sometime before New Year or after New Year. Or maybe, who knows? Caleb says, did you see the last Hellraiser remake? Yeah, I did see it. It was okay. It was okay. I didn't mind it. Cosplayzano says, check out Jeepers Creepers news if you're interested, bro. I'll check it out right now. Let me just read these last two articles. Cosplayzano says, one more day until Stranger Things Volume 2. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Aporeki says, La Llorona movie, it's a real story. It's a real story, but Google would say it's not. But it's very real. Yes, I know, Aporeki. I heard that story growing up. Caleb said Jeepers Creepers Reborn was okay to me, but the CGI was horrible. Wicked Milk says, right, I'm gonna stay up to time my sleep so I wake up right when Volume 2 releases. Caleb says Native American horror movies sound good. Yeah, they need to make more of that. Like the Wendigo, or the Wendigo or whatever it's called, or what was those things called? The Wendigo or those one things. A Skinwalker. Those are all Native American horror. Caleb's Casizano says the best Jeepers Creepers was part 1. Caleb says Jeepers Creepers 1 dig. Aporeki says that's the lamest storyline for a Home Alone movie. Yup, right? Right, Aporeki? I didn't like it either. Wicked Milk says agreed, or do something that feels close to the first Purge movie. Yes, right? Wicked Milk says, 2013 one. Aporeki says my dream role is to play Reagan in a remake Exorcist. Should write a remake, Frank, and get that out. I'll try my best, Aporeki. I'll try my best. I will try my best. All right, guys, we got some Crystal Lake TV series news. Jason fans, listen up. Look, we got some Crystal Lake news. We got some Crystal Lake TV series news, guys. So listen up. Dread Central is reporting Crystal Lake teenage Jason Voorhees reportedly appears in Friday the 13th A24 prequel series. Hey, campers, Dread Central exclusively learned today that Jason Voorhees will reportedly appear not only as a child, but also as a teenager in the upcoming A24 Peacock Friday the 13th prequel series. You guys hearing that? Not only child Jason is coming out, but also a teenage Jason. The series has already confirmed the presence of Jason as a child, with Callum Vincent cast as young Jason Voorhees. But according to our very reliable source, the show will also depict Jason at a later stage of his life, expanding the story beyond childhood. How prominently the teenage version of Jason appears, or whether multiple actors portray the character at different ages, has not been confirmed, but it does mean Jason will have the upper body strength to at least pick up a machete, and that's gotta count for something, right? The Crystal Lake TV series is set to serve as an expanded prequel to the 1980 Friday the 13th film by revisiting the cursed town and characters tied to the franchise's origin. The brand new show stars Linda Cardellini as Pamela Voorhees, includes earlier versions of characters from the original film, such as Crazy Ralph, Claudette, and Barry, along with new characters connected to the town's history. Crystal Lake is overseen by showrunner Brad Caleb Kane, who serves as writer and executive producer. Kane has also worked on the HBO prequel series A Welcome to Derry, which is already eyeing future seasons after providing horror fans with numerous water cooler moments in 2025. So that's awesome. Hell yeah, we're going to get to see a teenage Jason. We're going to get to see a teenage Jason in the new upcoming Friday the 13th TV series. All right, now I'm looking up this Jeepers Creepers movie. All right, found it. Cool. Let's see what I missed right here. Uh, Twisted says, "Hey, I'm back. Had to visit my grandma with other family members. It's okay, Twisted Do your thing. Do your thing, Twisted Wicked Milk says, Apple, you do a cool female Michael Myers. Not gonna lie, you kind of got the vibes from the kid from 2007. Yep, right. Yep, Apple Ricky totally has vibes. Dake Fairch vibes from 2007 Halloween. Apple Ricky says, your cast of your horror remake of The Exorcist should have me be Reagan Linda Blair be the mom and Tobin Bell be the priest. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. Twisted says, you know how Spirit Halloween made horror babies like Michael Myers, Leatherface, Ghostface, Art the Clown, and Frankenstein? I saw a new leak where there's a new Jason Universe horror baby for 2026. That's crazy. I thought the Jason Universe got canceled. I heard the Jason Universe had gotten canceled. I think I might have even talked about it here like a week or so ago. Let me see. Caleb Kane, I want them to make a part 4 Tales from the Hood. That would be cool. That would be cool. Or a new Leprechaun in the Hood. Or a Chucky in the Hood. Imagine Chucky in the Hood. Caleb says they should make a part 4 to Creepshow. Yeah, Creepshow was awesome as well. Creepshow was also awesome. All right, guys, we got some Scream news. We got some Scream news right now. We got some Scream news. We got 2 Scream newses right now, actually. We got 2 Scream newses. Aporicky says it burns Exorcist line. Okay, guys, we got two Scream news right now. So the first one is thenews.com. PK is reporting Kelly Ripa shares what she knows of Mark Consuelos' top secret Scream 7 role. Kelly Ripa making wild guesses about her husband Mark Consuelos' role in Scream 7. Ripa knows as much about his character Robbie Rivers as fans, which is nothing. Mark has kept details of the character to himself despite his wife's attempts to make him spill. He's the killer, she joked while speaking to Telling Entertainment Weekly. The Live with Kelly and Mark co-host noted that her husband really honors the sanctity of NDAs when something is top secret in his professional life. He's told me nothing. How do you say that word? She reiterated. How do you say it? She reiterated, I know nothing. He's very secretive. But I always joke that he could be the killer. Mark confesses that he can't give away details about the character, but shared their son Michael's reaction to his role. Our son, who's 28 now, this is quite possibly the most impressive job I've ever booked for him. The Riverdale Star said that this is the coolest thing I've ever done. I do have a script that I'm going to bind in leather for him after it comes out, because obviously he'll know if I do that beforehand, and I can't spoil it now. Marcus joined the Scream 7 cast by new and returning stars including Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, Scott Foley, and more. Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa met while filming the soap opera All My Children and Tied the Knot in 1996. So yeah, that's the first Scream news. They're trying to spill Mark Consuelos' role. They're trying to spill his role, trying to make him talk. All right, we got another Scream news. This is a Scream 4 news. Caleb says, I want them to make a movie called Countess Untold, just like they did Dracula Untold. That would be cool. That would be pretty cool. Casizano says, how long you got left for your life? Just probably until like 5:30, dude. Like around 5:30. Aporenki says, imagine we tell kids Santa's dead. And I used to tell my little sister, my older little sister, that Santa wasn't real when she was smaller. But yeah, all right, guys, check it out. Here's some more Scream news. All right, so X.com Scream News is reporting. Scream 4 News. It looks like Scream 4 is officially moving into 4K. A new Apple TV artwork has been dropped. Probably the release of the 4K version will drop in 2026 alongside Scream 7. Yeah, so yeah. Guys, so they're gonna make Scream 4 into 4K finally. Look at that. He's already like a 4K image of the logo. So yeah. Here's a first look at the 4K image of the Scream 4 logo. So it looks like Scream 4 is going to be coming out in 4K next year. I'm definitely going to be getting that. Scream 4 in 4K. Scream 4 in 4K. All right, and we got our last news. Right here that the Cosplay Zano wanted me to read. Okay, so iHorror.com is reporting allegedly Jeepers Creepers 5. Jeepers Creepers 5 ready once court case resolved. So they are going to make Jeepers Creeper 5. It may seem like we haven't had another Jeepers Creepers movie in a while because the last one was just so awful. Well, that might be reason enough to kill the series. The real cause is litigation. The YouTube channel Critical Overlord seems to have made it his mission to follow the development of the future of the franchise, including the status of Jeepers Creepers 5. Some of you may know that the studio behind Jeepers Creepers 5 Reborn, the third sequel, Infinity Films, is currently in court defending itself against accusations of breach of contract. Myraid Pictures, who produced the sequel and it followed up, and its follow-up, contend the excess behind Reborn bypassed them when it came to distributing rights, which they are supposed to have legally. Instead, the defendant is accused of using screen media. The court case has also been going on since 2022. Another hearing was held this month, and there are more to follow. Here's the initial accusation via Critical Overlord's tweet. The case involves the alleged breach of a right of the first negotiation and a last refusal for worldwide distribution rights to subsequent productions of the horror movie franchise Jeepers Creepers. Cross-defendant Myraid Pictures Inc. Cross-defendant or plaintiff alleges the complaint having a contractual right of first negotiation and last refusal for worldwide distribution rights to subsequent productions. Cross-defendant further alleges the defendant's production and film Jeepers Creepers 5 without cross-defendant's knowledge or involvement, even though cross-defendant had been working with the defendants to develop the sequels through 2018-2019. Once the film was shot, defendants reported to extend the cross-defendant a right of last negotiation, which was illusory because defendants had already granted distribution rights to cross-defendants' competitors, Screen Media. So yeah, this is a bunch of court lawyer talk. But yeah, so someone was what is it called? Someone, I guess, breached the rights of the contract, But that's not all. In court documents, the defendants are allegedly still working on Jeepers Creepers 5 without Myraid again, which adds a new layer of the conflict to the dispute. It's Critical Overload's opinion the people behind Part 5 are going to make the movie one way or the other. They are just waiting for the case to be over. He looked up the background of the dispute and reviewed to his viewers. Plaintiff is also alleges the defendant are currently producing a fifth installment of the film franchise without their knowledge of involvement. Myraid Pictures contend they have first negotiation, last refusal to any project involving Jeepers Creepers. Beyond the wheels of justice, one might wonder why anyone would want to add to a franchise that died with Reborn. The answer might be simple. Horror movies are cheap to make and yield a high return, even if they are bad. Additionally, the Creeper is an iconic character, and given the right script and cast, the franchise could be rebound with something special rather than a low-grade cash grab. However, there is a pall over the brand already since the original's creator-director, Victor Salva, was sent. Okay, we don't want to talk about that. So yeah, there is going to be a Jeepers Creepers 5 only until the court case is settled with the two studios that are fighting over the rights and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Apple Ricky says, damn, that's so mean. Frank Caleb says, heard of a medieval horror movie called Headhunter? I think so. I've never seen it, but I think I might have heard about it. Caleb says, Patrick Bateman versus Mr. Brooks. I say Patrick Bateman. I say Patrick Bateman. I say Patrick Bateman, guys. I say Patrick Bateman. Wicked Milk says, yo, laugh out loud, seen the stuff about the Epstein files, bro, almost 90% of everything is freaking redacted. Literally, whole pages are all black. Well, yeah, bro. Why do you think? Why do you think Obama and Biden and other Republicans didn't release them? Because there's people from both sides of the spectrum on those things, and they were trying to keep it hush on both sides. You know what I mean? So that's why, bro. That's why I don't go for no political party, bro. That's why I don't vote. That's why I don't go for no political party. I don't go for Democrat or Republican because at the end of the day, they're all just rich people like trying to tell us what to do. And with the Epstein files, they all got each other's backs. Republicans got Democrats' backs. Democrats got Republicans' backs. Just like I said right now. I don't want to make this political, but when Obama was president and Biden were president, they didn't release the Epstein files for the same reason, because all billionaires back each other up, bro. And why do you think Trump doesn't release them? Because there's people from both sides of the political spectrum on those files. So it serves no purpose for them to release them, because then they're gonna lose control of the public even more, bro. And then the public is gonna trust them even less, or to no degree at all. Wicked Milk says, right, bro? No effing liability at all, bro. Yeah, bro. These two political parties are trash, bro. They're trash. These two parties are trash, bro. They're both trash. They're both trash, bro. They're both trash. They're both trash. That's why. I mean, I grew up punk rock, bro. I grew up punk rock. I grew up hanging out in the streets and skateboarding with punk rockers. Poor skaters, poor punk rocker people, metalheads and stuff. Back like 20 years ago, punk rockers and metalheads didn't vote, bro. Punk rockers and metalheads hated all aspects of government. They hated left, right, communism, fascism, Nazism. They hated all that. Punk rockers and metalheads hated all aspects of government. They were anti-government. Punk music, metal music was anti-government back then. But now a lot of like punk rockers and a lot of rockers bend the knee to a political faction now, which wasn't a thing back then. Well, it was kind of a thing, but it was to a smaller degree. Like Joey, or who was it? Joey Ramone? No, not Joey Ramone. Johnny Ramone. I think it was Johnny Ramone, who was a Republican in the Ramones as well. But yeah, Caleb says heavy metal and rap is cool. Yeah, rap is cool too, bro. Rap is cool as well too. Rap is cool as well. A lot of the early rappers as well, like Run DMC and stuff like that. They hated politics too, bro. But over the years, like especially once these artists become rich, they start bending the knee to politics and all that stuff. When in the beginning they're all anti-politics and stuff. Apple Ricky says, I'm getting stuff for my fan film. That's awesome, Apple Ricky. I got a few things for Christmas already myself. I'll show you guys some stuff. Let me see. I got my first game that I been wanting to get. All right. So here's one of my first Christmas gifts, guys. Look, I finally got Diablo 4. I finally got one of my first Christmas gifts. I finally got Diablo 4 for the PS5. It's so awesome, bro. I haven't played since like I think Tuesday or Monday, but it's so awesome, dude. This game is awesome. I love it. I'm probably gonna play right now after the live. But yeah, bro, this game is awesome. This is one of my first Christmas gifts. I got it at the mall on Friday. Let's see, what else did I get? Diablo 4. We got Diablo 4. I also got, let's show this. I got a review. I also got a review. Oh, hold on. I got some new skateboard wheels, guys. Check it out. Look. I got Diablo 4 so far for Christmas. I got some new skateboard wheels for my skateboard. Also ordered a new skateboard, but I can't show it here because it's on its way. It's still in the mail. But yeah, I got some new skateboard wheels when I go skate. Got to review this on my skating channel as well. I also got some new bearings. The best Spitfire. These are also Spitfire wheels as well For those of you who don't know, I'm also a skateboarder, you know. So yeah, we got some Spitfire wheels and some Spitfire bearings, and I also got a new skateboard, which is coming in the mail, so I don't have it here right now. And I gotta review that on my skating channel soon too, and this as well. Start dropping content there as well, more content. So yeah, I'm probably gonna get another Michael mask as well. I haven't gotten the money for that yet, but I should order that within the next week or so. So you guys should see that as well. But yeah, that's so far what I got for Christmas, guys. Just this stuff, the Diablo game, some new wheels, a new skateboard. Can't wait to use all this stuff. What else? Let me see. Let me get it. No, that's it. I think that's all I got for Christmas right now. That's so far everything I've got. Wicked Milk says, "Oh hell yeah!" Apariki says, "Saving up the Christmas money, and when I go back to school, I'm gonna try to get my friends to play Dim Georgie Pete, a homeless man and a husband and wife, also a camera assistant." Awesome, Apariki. Wish you luck. OG Wicked Milk says, Formula 4? Yeah, the Formula 4s, I think. Is that? What formula are they? Oh, yeah, it is Formula 4. Yeah. Yeah, I needed some Formula 4s. I wanted some white wheels. Apariki says, and the psychologist for the ending. Awesome. Apariki says, what's that crying? Oh, it's my niece, my little niece. I got two other nieces as well. I got two other nieces, and one of them is crying, you know? One of them is crying. All right, let me see. Casidano, Wicked Milk says, I was thinking about joining the local theater next year. You should. You should, Wicked Milk. You should, just like Apple Ricky. You start getting connections there. All right, thank you so much, Hollywood Horror Film Club, Ghostface and Michael Myers collectors, for joining me here on the channel again for my annual Christmas Eve live stream 2025. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas morning tomorrow. Hope everyone stays safe. I hope everyone gets a lot of presents. I hope everyone stays safe, especially don't drink too much. If you drink, stay home, stay inside, stay in the warm. It's raining here in Cali right now. So if it's raining wherever you're at, stay warm, stay inside, spend time with family. I'm gonna be logging off already, guys. Thank you so much for always joining me here. I always appreciate you guys. I always appreciate this channel and the people that join me here all the time. It really means a lot to me. You guys could be anywhere on YouTube. You guys are here with me. I really appreciate that. I hope to keep seeing you guys next year. I hope more people join us next year, you know, as well. And we're gonna continue doing more films right here on the channel, pushing the envelope, getting more better tech and everything, you know. So I hope everyone has a good evening, a good Christmas Eve, and a good Christmas morning. Hope y'all get a lot of presents. Stay safe, spend time with family, and thank you so much for joining me here on the channel for the Christmas live stream. Like always, my name is Frank. Thank you so much for joining me here. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram for more horror content. Link down in the description as well. And I'll catch you guys on Sunday. I'll catch you guys Horror Sunday as well. All right? Let me see. Wicked Milk says, Merry Xmas, see y'all. Wicked Milk says, have a nice gameplay, Frank. Yeah, man, take care too. Cosizano says, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Stay safe, Frank. And everyone, much love, and I'll catch you on Sunday. DM me back. All right, take care, guys, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for the hearts. Take care, everyone. Take care. Happy Xmas.